It's Joseph here again. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another edition of my weekly video. If this is the first time that you're watching this video, I want to welcome you and thank you so much for tuning in. And I really do hope you like what you see by the end of this video. And if you do, then please feel free to leave a positive comment. You can like my video, you can share it, or you can even subscribe to my channel. Any support is greatly appreciated. Now I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas break, and I want to take this moment to wish you guys a very happy new year. Now tomorrow is going to be the first trading day of the year, and one thing that we all traders have in common is the fact that we all going to have a clean slate. So once the market opens tonight, once we come into work tomorrow, we're going to have a clean slate to start off the year with. Now this is what I challenge you guys. I want to challenge you guys to try and stay disciplined, because this is not going to be a sprint. This is a marathon. Now you have a whole 12 months in front of you, and it's very important to have a very good foundation, because the truth of the matter is that you can be out of the race within the first couple of months if you don't stay disciplined, if you don't follow your plan, if you're not patient enough. And that's one of the reasons why I'm offering my signal service subscription for free this month. Yeah, you heard it right, for free. So you don't have to pay a single dime. It's going to be absolutely free if you subscribe to my signal service for this month, because I believe that we all traders at some points we do need a helping hand, and what better way to do it than at the beginning of the beginning of the race, really. So whether you decide to stay with us after the first month is up to you, but this is what you're gonna see is the fact that we are, you're gonna see a signal service that follow a very strict trade plan. And speaking of trade plan, I know there's a lot of traders out there who don't even know how to write a trade plan. And for that reason, I'm going to show you guys a glimpse of my trade plan. Not even a glimpse, I'm going to go through my trade plan with you guys right now. And hopefully you guys can see how a trade plan is being written. So okay, let's go over to I'm going to bring up Microsoft Word here. So this is my trade plan. This is the trade plan that I've been using with my signal service, and this is the trade plan that brought me a return of over 1,500 pips in the last in 10 months of trading last year, 2016, with a drawdown of just about 500 pips. So now I'm not going to go into details of what all of that means. I mean, if you're a trader, you should know, in terms of like money management and things like that. But this is my trade plan. So as you can see, my trade plan, that's the heading. And this is kind of something that just kind of sets everything into motion. And what you're going to see is if this is a very simple trade plan, guys. Because as I go through this trade plan with you, you're going to see how everything is kind of linked together. From the top of the trade plan all the way to the bottom, that everything has been linked together. So this started off with just a code, with a simple code. Sometimes you have to concede a battle in order to win the war. This is exactly this just translates to basically saying to yourself, okay, this is going to be a marathon, so you have to pace yourself. I mean, in trading you have to be able to accept losing, because losing is a big part of trading. You have to be able to accept it. So if you lose a few trades, you have to be able to keep your eyes on the big picture. That's what this simply means. Like, it's not about the first couple of trades. It's not about the first 5 trades or the first 10 trades. I mean, you can take the first 10 trades in the year and lose 8 of the 10 trades. But as long as you follow your plan, as long as you trade your plan, you're disciplined enough, you have to keep your eyes on the big picture. So my goal is to be a professional trader. And for me to achieve that, I need to consistently follow these rules and trade it with discipline. Again, what I just said at the beginning of this video, I challenge you guys to be disciplined. It's very important. So next, the market. I will be executing this trade plan in the foreign exchange market. So my currency portfolio, this is a current. I'm gonna have to. I did make some changes on this because I did added a few currency pairs that I'm gonna be using for my signal service. I think we're gonna be trading about 13 or 14 currency pairs. So I'm gonna have to update this at some point, but yeah, this is just, like I said, this is my trade plan from last year, and it's still going to be the same, apart from the fact that I'm going to make some changes on the currency portfolio. So trading style. A lot of people don't even know what they're trading to. If I ask people what kind of trader are you? Are you a day trader, a swing trader? People don't even know what that means. But I'm a swing trader. And just to clarify what that means, it's just it means I leave my position from a few hours to a few days. So it's kind of more like it's a day trader. Just basically doesn't leave you trade for more than a day really. Trades on lower time frames. But as you can see, I do go higher. Look at the time frames that I trade. Now it doesn't mean that I trade on all of those time frames. Usually I use the daily time frame as for my analysis. When I'm doing my top down analysis, I use the daily time frame, and then work my way down all the way to the 15 minute or 30 minute, depending on which time frame I see an opportunity. So far so good. Like, everything is simple, it's self-explanatory. I don't have to like try and use any big words or try and give you anything that's gonna confuse your head. I mean, it's very, very self-explanatory. So moving on, strategy. I will be trading pre-advanced patterns. As you guys know, I'm an advanced pattern trader. That's the only thing I trade. So my signal service, that's the only thing you're gonna see. It's just advanced pattern. And these are the 3 advanced patterns that I trade: the cipher pattern, the Gartley pattern, the bat pattern. Now I'm not saying that other patterns are not, you can't trade other patterns like the shark pattern, the butterfly patterns. I'm not saying you can't do that. But these are the ones that I like. These are the ones that I feel comfortable trading. These are the ones that I can wake up in the middle of the night, go through my charts and see any of these patterns and trade it. And there are other reasons as well when it comes to where your stop loss goes and where your things like that. So moving on, analysis. This is a very important step as well. As you can see, everything, it's not more than three lines, 2-3 lines. I explain everything. Is analysis. I will go through all my charts on the daily and the H4 time frames to establish the market structure. So what I'm looking for if the market is bullish, bearish, or consolidation. If I put my time frame on one of these time frames, if I put my chart on one of these time frames, I should be able to determine, as a technical trader, I should be able to determine what kind of market structure I'm looking at. And it's only 3 market structures. There's many other structures, but all other complex structures do fall into these categories. So moving on, trades. This is where it's gonna get a little bit complicated. So let's look at the first one. If the market structure is bullish, so coming on again from these, like I said, from this analysis straight goes into the trades. If the market is bullish, then, and if you guys have heard a lot of things about if and then, it's very important. I mean, I can't argue with that. So if the market structure is bullish, then I will look for a bullish advanced pattern in any of my trading time frames. If the market is bullish, this straight away links market structure, it links to the analysis. Then I will look for a bullish advanced pattern, links to the strategy advanced pattern, and any of my trading time frame links to the trading time frame. So as you can see, the first sentence links everything, the top 3. You see how simple can that be? So moving on to the second one, if the market structure is bearish, then I will look for a bearish advanced pattern in any of my trades. This is basically the same as this, but market, using the market structure, bullish, bearish, and the next one, consolidation. If the market is in consolidation, then I will look for a bullish and bearish advanced pattern in any of my trades. So once the market is in consolidation, it doesn't really matter what advanced patterns I trade. So rules of the plan. This is the rules of my plan. Maximum stop loss of 100 pips. I will never send out a trade to my signal service with any a trade setup that's got a stop loss of more than 100 pips. That's never going to happen. I always follow the trend of the higher time frame. Exactly. Now look at this number 2. What does this number 2 link to? It links to this trades always follow the trend of the higher time frame. So if the market is bullish, on a higher time frame, then I will look for a bullish advanced pattern. So what this means is the fact that the trend of the higher time frame always dictates, which position, which side of the market I'm going to be at. Always use pending orders. So I find my trades before they even complete, and I use my pending orders, and I send out my signals. I mean, this is not usually the case. I mean, sometimes I can, I can come into the market once the market is the market is at the entry point, and those times there's nothing really I can do about it. Sometimes I do send out signals like that, but it's gonna always write fast fingers. So you have to it's kind of a trade that you have to be able to get onto it as soon as possible. So the next one, number 4, only cancel an order if the pattern is invalidated. I think this one is self-explanatory. I mean, we do have a lot of orders that will come close to the entry point and then reverses, and once the pattern is invalidated, then we cancel the order. But I'm never gonna cancel an order once the trade is it's active, or once the trade the pattern hasn't been invalidated. So number 5, use Fib ratio 38.2 and 61.8 for take profit 1 and take profit 2. Again, if you know how to trade advanced patterns, this is self-explanatory. Now stop loss is always 1-to-1 from take profit 1. Stop loss can only be adjusted on the one condition. Now this is the only condition where I change my stop loss, is if after using the 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio on my first profit target, and my stop loss is more than 100 pips, then I can decrease my stop loss to go below 100 pips, provided my stop loss still stays at least 25 pips above or below X. Now this might be a little complicated for some of you, but again, if you understand the language of trading, this should be self-explanatory. And this is what I close my trade plan with. Losing money doesn't bring me pain. Not following my rules does. So guys, as you can see, every single thing in my trade plan, every single sentence is at least linked to another, and that's how simple it is. There are so many people that are struggling to write a trade plan, and of course writing a trade plan is one thing, but following a trade plan is another. So I hope you guys you now have an idea of how to write a trade plan, or at least for those of you that are still struggling trying to understand how. I hope I've been able to clarify a few things for you there. And so as you can see, it has to be very, very simple. I'm not saying that's a perfect trade plan. I'm just saying that depending on what strategy you use, there's the people you can include a lot of things in your trade plan, things like the indicators that you use, or the news announcements, or how you deal with news announcements, how you trade the NFPs and things like that. You can include that, but as long as you can consistently follow that, then it's okay. Really, there's no perfect trade plan, but it has to make sense. The trade plan has to make sense. So anyway, I think we're gonna go over to the charts now, and I'm gonna show you guys a few things that I'm gonna be looking. Well, there's not a lot to actually go through with you guys today, but just a couple of things that I picked up on. I'm kind of try and give you guys kind of like a long-term analysis, because it is the beginning of the year, and we're looking at, like I said, trying to show you guys what is likely to happen to the euros, the euro dollar, and also the pound dollar over the next 12 months. So I've got my chart here on the monthly time frame, and so first of all, just to kind of practice what we just read right now from my trade plan, a little bit of structure reading. I mean, I never do my analysis on the monthly time frame. Just for the record, I never even look at the monthly time frame. But like I said, because we've got like, this is the start of the year, so I'm making an exception to kind of, look at the monthly time frame. What do we see here? A bearish move, a bearish structure. We would expect the market to continue bearish, but no, we came up. I will put a bullish structure. And then what happened? Came back down again and put another bearish structure. But this is a lot of junk. This is what you call consolidation. Because there's no sense of direction right now. You cannot tell me that this market is this or this market is that. Hasn't got a sense of direction. But what I'm gonna focus on right now is what the market is doing currently. I don't care what the market has done in the past. Even though it's important to pay attention to things like structure and that, but I'm not even gonna look at that. I'm looking at what the market has currently done. So if you look at what the market is currently done, you can see that the market has just put down a triple bottom. So what do we have here? This is the first test, the second test, and we're currently back down to test that level again. Now I think the market is going to rally from this point, even though I still think like in the long term, I listen to what I said, in the long term the market is likely going to head down all the way to this structure in the long term. But this is what is likely to happen. We're likely to see some sideways trading in the coming months. In fact, dare I say that in the whole of 2017, the market is likely to trade in this zone, in this sideways. But because mind you guys, this is a monthly chart, so every single candle here, I mean, we spent the whole year, so there's no reason why the market can do the same in the next year. So I'm preparing myself for a sideways trading. I mean, if the market can trade sideways here, I would love it, because it means opportunities for advanced pattern traders. So dropping down this down to the daily, no, actually weekly chart. Let me go to the weekly. Maybe we're gonna see some, yeah. I mean, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same situation here. The triple bottom. We are likely gonna see the market rally from this point onwards. Where it's gonna go, I don't know. But I will be paying attention to any sort of advanced pattern. So now, remembering my trade plan. If the market is in consolidation, I will look for a bullish or a bearish advanced pattern. So at this moment in time, I don't care what kind of pattern I see, whether it's bullish or bearish, but because the market is in consolidation, I'm going to take any pattern that comes my way. But can I stress again that this is not, I don't do my analysis on the monthly or the weekly time frame, but this is just an example. So now if I drop this down to my trading tab, this is where I start my analysis, daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, I can see that the market is in consolidation. So this is where my trade plan is going to come, start applying. At this moment in time, I don't really see any advanced pattern forming up. So if I drop this down to the 4-hour chart, boom, I can see an advanced pattern. So people are going to be, how the hell did you see it? Where is it? I don't see it. Well, let me give you a clue. It's a cipher pattern, and it's a bearish cipher pattern. There you go. That's your starting point. X to A leg, A to B, B to C. And now you got a cipher pattern that's going to complete. At 107.61. So we still got a long way to go, because this is got a long way to go before we get there. But as you can see, the market has already, came back down from these lows. We had a rally, and we're getting a little pullback. Why are we getting this pullback? Because of this previous structure. The market has come into this previous structure. But if you know how structure works, as long as the market does not break and close above the previous outside return, this market is going to be heading down. So now if the market rallies all the way to there, look at our previous outside return right there. So this is going to be a very, very good trade to be involved in. So we'll see if the market is going to rally. But this is my prediction for 2017, that we are going to see a lot of it's going to be a lot of sideways movement. The market is going to be in consolidation. Eventually we are going to break to the downside, in which case we are going to be looking at this previous structure, which is a long way. It's got a long way to fall, but I expect the market to be on consolidation. So moving on to the pound dollar monthly chart. So we can see, looking at the pound dollar on the monthly chart, really the pound dollar is in no man's land. And that's a phrase that you use to describe. It's anybody now. I wouldn't even say it's anybody's guess. Where this market is. It's completely bearish, because we had this market breaking this huge support region that we had here, and that happened obviously after the Brexit. You guys know what happened last year with the Brexit. So the market has broken that channel. And there is a chance that this market is going to rally at some point in order to test this previous support, which is now going to be resistance. But I don't think it would be the wise move to buy the pound at the moment. Rather, you wait for the market to come back to retest it, and then you sell it and go bearish, or you go drop down to a lower time frame and find a bearish trading opportunity. Like it is a monthly time frame. So let's go over to a weekly time frame and see if we can see some clarity. Nope, we're still not seeing any clarity at the moment. So I'll drop this down further down to the daily chart, and we can see what the market has been doing. So as you can see, we had a bearish structure here. The market came back down and kind of formed a bearish rectangle, and this is another form of consolidation, the bearish rectangle. This is what I'm expecting the euro to do. And then we finally broke to the downside, and then the market rallied, and look what we're coming into, previous structure. And this is another type of consolidation structure. For those of you that know, that are familiar with rising wedge, this is a rising wedge, and we all know all rising wedge break to the downside. So we can see that the market has already broken that wedge. The market can come back and retest that resistance before going back down. Or if you're an advanced pattern trader, you can use this as your starting point next to a leg. You see a 50% retracement. So if the market, you could be looking at the potential shorting opportunity in the form of a back pattern if we get a rally from this point. So whatever happens, I'm going to be bearish on this pair. So we'll just see what happens. But like I said, for the prediction for the year, I expect the pound to continue its bearish momentum. We might see a retracement at some point into previous structure support, which is not going to be resistance. But at the moment, I'll be looking for just opportunities to sell. So yeah, this is it. That's all I've got for you now. Like I said, the first month subscription is going to be free, guys. If you want to have a good start to the year, if you want to see how it is that the trade plan is being followed, then please click the link is below this page. You can go and subscribe. I say it's first month, you don't have to pay anything, and it's up to you to see, to stay with us if you want to after the first month or not. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna try and show you guys how it is to stay consistent and stay disciplined, to try and help you guys get a good start for the year. I say a good start doesn't mean the month has to be like a crazy good month. I mean, it would be nice to have a good month, a trading month, but it's all about the plan. It's all about being disciplined. It's all about staying consistent. And for that reason, that brings me to a close of my video. Yeah, so I hope you guys really have a very, very happy new year, like I said, and until next time, I will see you. Good luck and good trading.